Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to QGTV. Today we're on day 21 of Ramadan 2011 chapter overview and chapter study, and we are beginning the Hamim series. The Hamim series are from chapters 40 till 46, and today we'll be doing chapter 40, which is Al-Ghafir, chapter 41, which is Al-Fusilat, and chapter 42, which is Ashura. So let's begin. So this chapter begins with Tanzil, and it talks about the Tanzil of the book. It says Tanzilul Kitab, the descent of the book, Min Allahil Azizil Alim. It's from Allah, the exalted in might, the one who is knowledgeable. Ghafir al-Dhanbi, he protects from your lacks, your shortcomings, and he forgiveth, or rather he accepts the return, your tawbah. Yeah? So here we can see that this is the attributes of Allah, which is exemplified in this chapter. The chapter continues in verse 5, which talks about the people of Nuh and the Ahzab. So Nuh is first mentioned here. We can see that Nuh is quite central to the theme of forgiving the dhanb or the lacks, and then the Ahzab. Right, so then we have a general exposition of judgment and how Allah judges those who disbelieve. That continues up to verse 22, where the messengers are mentioned. So the messengers are being rejected, and the one who exemplifies this is Musa, the messenger in question. Allah says, وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا مُوسَى بِآيَاتِنَا وَسُلْطَانٍ مُبِينٍ. We sent Musa with our signs and a manifest or a clear authority. إِلَى فِرْعَوْنَ وَهَمَانَ وَقَارُونَ فَقَالُوا سَاحِرٌ كَذَّابٌ. To Fir'aun, Haman and Qarun. Who are these three personalities? Well, Fir'aun, as we know, is the one who exemplifies oppressive authority. Haman is the one whom Fir'aun depends on for the creation of his means. So perhaps Haman here shows that the Fir'aun's oppression requires some kind of facilitation, and Qarun is the one who hoards the wealth. And these people are the ones who are targeted for the message. And here we can see that the message is essentially about the expiation of these conditions. So that's the theme. As it goes down, it talks about Musa and Fir'aun. Fir'aun says, leave me to slay Musa and let him call on his Lord. This is another salient feature of this chapter, the calling of Allah, the dua ilallah, and the word for calling is dua, and dua we will see later as well. So what is the dua? Essentially the dua is, yes, it involves calling, an actual verbal or spiritual calling, but also it is dedicating oneself to the invocation of Allah's way, of Allah's help, sorry. We can see this in chapter 2 verses 183 to 187. That is the way of life, which will bring about the help of God. Then we have a personality which is not mentioned anywhere else, and that is a believer from Fir'aun's system. That's from verse 28, and he continues and talks about believing in Musa. Even though they have the upper hand in the land, they should believe in Musa. So this shows that the help of Allah comes from many or any unexpected avenues. And I think this is the uniqueness of this chapter. It mentions this person, whereas he's not mentioned anywhere else. Verse 36, Fir'aun says, Ya Haman, abni li sarhan la'alli ablughu al-asbab. O Haman, build me a lofty palace that I may attain the various ways and means. So Haman his role is to build these facilitations. And this is the thing which is significant in Pharaoh's kingdom. There are classes of people, and we should be aware of this in the application of Musa's system, which is the opposite of the system. Again, the dua is mentioned in verse 42. Tad'unani li kufra. So you call me to blaspheme, or rather to conceal and to join partners with Allah. You see, so it's talking about that person again, that believer from Pharaoh's system. He was saying this to his people. So again, you find that there are ways and means which Allah helps you, which is kind of unexpected. Verse 51 is a very strong promise from Allah. Allah says, we will help our messengers and those who believe both in this worldly life and in the hereafter. So, on the day where witnesses will stand forth. So here we can see that the promise of Allah is true. So the calling of Allah is through the activation of His signs. Verse 53, Allah says, وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا مُوسَى الْهُدَى وَأَوْرَثْنَا بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ الْكِتَابِ. We gave Musa the guidance. And as we know, Huda Allahu wal Huda, that's chapter 2 verse 120, which says that the guidance is the guidance of Allah. And we gave the book inheritance as an inheritance to Bani Israel. So Bani Israel, they are levels. Some of them were given Al-Kitab, some of them were inheritors of Al-Kitab. Again in verse 60, the word call or dua is there. وَقَالَ رَبُّكُمْ أَدْعُونِي أَسْتَجِبْ لَكُمْ. Call on me and I will answer you. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَسْتَكْبِرُونَ عَنْ عِبَادَتِي سَيَدْخُلُونَ جَهَنَّمَ دَاخِرِينَ. So Allah says, call on me and I will answer you. And those who are arrogant to serve me, they will enter the Jahannam, the state of brokenness. So how is this the case? Well, it shows that the dua is essentially becoming the servant of Allah. Ibadati, my servant, Allah says. Have a look at chapter 2 verse 186. It's a great mirror of this particular verse. Yeah, so there we have it. This is the central theme of the Hamim opening, which is to get the help of Allah, the aid of Allah through dua. What is the dua? We can see that Musa, he was practicing the dua in the verse, in this chapter, and he was bringing his people clear signs. So the focus of this chapter is essentially about gaining the protection of Allah, gaining the help of Allah, and how we go about it in passing the message. So let's move on to chapter 41.